Hey folks, welcome back. We are on round 86 of the Ice Planet Let's Play. Okay, in the last episode, we didn't actually lose that many credits. If you remember, I was a little bit concerned, but you'll see that we actually only lost 34. Now, I expect this is because we've now completed construction of that large bureaucratic office, which took a lot of people to build. Obviously, a lot of people, you know, construction people, and there's going to be people who are setting up all the infrastructure, the administrative chains, hiring the managers, doing all the recruitment, all that kind of stuff. So we've now got bureaucratic office 4 up, and that is going to start pumping out bureaucratic points. This is going to help our research in a big way. Now, I've had a little bit of a think about this game, and I've got a rough plan for how I'm going to approach it. This is going to assume that Varort's domain are going to not attack us. So I've got to do my best to keep these guys sweet. They don't seem to have any interest in attacking us quite yet. They do have some room to expand this direction. Now, we do also have Fried Sect, and Fried Sect is here. We don't have any borders with them at the moment, although it's possible that they might actually push through, you know, to Texifort and threaten the frontier, you know, the eastern frontier of Varort domain. But they are about to take Schwarzmark's main city here. I'm afraid we're not going to get that. So what we've got to do now is we've got to take these mountains, and we need to, I mean, we've got most of them. I want to try and get as far as this. Try and take the other towns, these little towns that that Schwarzmark has set up. Zoxigama, Dieter, Lola Lake, whatever we can get. We're not going to get Mance now. And then we're going to have to make war with Fried Sect, I believe. I think that's going to be the way to do it. I don't think that we can win in any other way. We need to take this territory, and then we're going to fight over the city here. Let me show you. Looks like, have they just lost it? Hold on, no, here we are. Freiburg here, or Freiburg. Sorry about my pronunciation. Germanic stuff I struggle with. So Freiburg here is about to fall, I think. Let's get some spies in here. In fact, let's not. I've got an idea. Right. Before I go any further, we do have a card to play. Let's just have a look at what happened in the history. We got attacked on this side. Look, I'm glad I put these troops up. We just need a few block of troops, basically, to stop these nomads wandering around and just infringing on our borders. They haven't got enough troops to make a, you know, to form a line and attack us. They're just going to be moving around with these single units, essentially. But they are losing troops every time they do that. So they're diminishing. We've discovered water deposits in Mars. Still in the time of efficiency. This is good. We're getting, we're only just going into this, and we're gaining public economy bonus points. We successfully delivered a demand to the Merchant Society that our private assets would be over 50 levels. Or over 49, we hit 50. We've developed Rover Mark II, and if you remember, this was a model that I was kind of experimenting with just to see if the field testing would give us a better result than the new model that the new base model that we designed last time. We've discovered metal soil filtration, which is great. We want this one. No, we're going to go for this as soon as possible. And then we've also discovered rocketry, and we've discovered motorized siege infantry army and sanitation programs, and we've got an efficiency drive card which we are going to play because we need the money. So that is the first thing that we're going to do. It's the most, if I do nothing else this turn, playing that efficiency drive card and hopefully passing the roll is going to be the thing to do. Where are we? I think it might be a zone card. No, that's patriotic collection. I'm doing that thing where I'm staring right at it and I can't see it. There we are. Okay. Not the best odds of passing this. It might be worth assigning a, what is this, administration skill. Let's see if we've got a leader or an advisor who is sat doing nothing. Okay, he's attached to Trinity Starwaste, who is our Supreme Command Council, and he is attached to nobody. Okay. We want somebody with an administration skill. He's only got 8 there, but he's got 40 intelligence. He's got 74, so let's call him. And we need to attach him to Chunk Beat Knight, the Interior Council. Now, got to be careful that we don't spend too many points, because... Hang on, wait, how many is the efficiency drive card? 33. Okay, and then have we got any decisions that are going to cost us any money? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, we can do this. We don't have any political points left, but I don't think we really need them, so let's do it. So, Aries Andamore, with your 74 administration roll, I'm going to attach you. I hate this screen. Vic, please change this screen. This and along the Air Force design screen, the aircraft design screen, are the two things that are really the most annoying things about this game. Especially when you've got a lot of advisors. Perhaps Vic wasn't really anticipating people playing such massive games. Okay, so this guy's now attached. We should have a better chance of passing it. Yeah, like 78%. So we've got 78. We need to get, what's that, 22 or more on a D100.
Copy that.
Okay, we passed. So we gained 2,000 points. That is 2,000 credits, sorry. That is perfect. That's all we needed for this turn. Everything else is just kind of fluff and filler. And I kind of mean that genuinely as well. There's really not so much we can do. We are just firefighting now on this end of the Empire. Try and get some of these troops up this way. Yeah, we're just kind of firefighting down here. Okay, we're going to have to build some roads. Fortunately, roads is something we can do. Now, whether we can get logistics out that far is another matter. Yeah, not very much. We got a... What have we got here? Oh, wow, look at these guys. Texifort is really suffering. We need colonists and fast.
Roger.
Okay, well, there's 2,000. Worker happiness is not very high. Well, they're getting a decent salary. What's the problem? We've got high unrest here. That's the problem. Okay, so yeah, we've got to fix that. That's the problem. You know, sometimes I just sort of rush through the decisions a little bit. You've got to be a little bit careful doing that, because you can end up causing more problems. Let's attack with these two groups.
Engage the enemy. Here's this. Guys like us.
By the way, I live in Scotland, and I'm sure that woman's speaking with a Scottish accent, but I can't understand what the hell that says at all. And I work with working class Scottish people who have the thickest accents ever. Like they don't say floor, they say fleer. Clean the fleer, Ben. So yeah, I cannot understand what that woman says when she says that.
Engage the enemy.
No, we just lost the bike there.
Here's this. Guys like us.
What does she say? I want to know what she says. If we've got anybody who's fluent in haggis, please let me know, because I cannot understand that at all. And please, I don't want to have anybody commenting saying that's racist, because it's not, okay? English people and Scottish people are allowed to... Oh no, I went the wrong way again. I keep doing this. I'm going to have to send these guys back. Yeah, English people and Scottish people are allowed a bit of banter. It's the one thing that keeps us together, I think, at this point. And to all my Scottish viewers out there, I love you, man. Don't worry. Thank you for letting me stay in your country without beating me up on a daily basis. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see what we've got. I don't think we can really move that far down here. We just don't have the logistics, look. Don't have the logistics. So... yeah. We don't need anything going up that way now. Let's just cut that off to everything but pull points. That should send a little bit further down here. Yeah, we can only get this far. Look, what have we got here? Is this a truck station? But it's attached to the Visa and it's small. Yeah, interesting development here. Let's get these guys pushing. I want to secure these mountains. That's my first priority for this group here. So we just got to secure these mountains here. I want to get down here and hopefully take this one too. Okay, we've got a free folk town here. Only 200 people though. Yeah, the yields we're getting from these free folk towns are very, very small actually. Okay. Yeah, sorry, by the way, I keep moving these guys in a different direction. What I probably could do is I could just march them. I have to march them up. I bet I'll forget to do it again and I'll move them this way. One thing you can do is just disband the troops and then you can just raise another couple. But, you know, well, I'd rather they were sat here getting experience. I don't mind, like these, I don't really need these up here in all honesty now. I think probably what I'm going to do is we do need to try to secure this board, these mountains. Why is it that I like mountains so much? Well, the reason is when your troops are sat in mountains, they're very, very hard to dislodge. And it's all well and good an enemy moving with some massive armor brigade, you know, like pushing like in a direction like this. But you can then cut them off. You can come out the mountains and cut them off. So you want to keep the high ground and try to avoid any of those awful Star Wars memes when you hold that in your mind. Episode 1 and 2 and 3 are not Star Wars films. I hate those films with passion. Absolute garbage. Like in my mind, yeah. After Star Wars Episode 4, 5 and 6, there are no Star Wars. There is no Star Wars after that, okay? That's Battlemode's opinion. Like, I cannot stand any of the crap that was made under the name of Star Wars, like, ever since the original movies. The first film is really good, by the way. I really like New Hope. I know it's kind of low budget compared to the others, and it's, you know, it's a B movie, isn't it? But it's kind of like good pulp. That's like a really, really high quality 70s sci-fi movie. It's so good. And I know that everyone thinks Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are better. I mean, Empire Strikes Back's a magnificent film. There's no doubt about it. It's a superbly crafted movie. But I've got a thing for the first film. I think the very first Star Wars film was really, really good. There was something innocent about it. I don't know, depending on your opinion of George Lucas, but I felt that it was a really, really cool film. Let's have a look at this model. This Rover 2 was the update over Rover 1. Now we had 71% field testing, and you'll see this is the design points. Look, base design's gone up a lot, and we also got an improvement in the engine, weapon and armor. So these are still like lowish scores, but they are going up, and this is now perfectly serviceable, I'd say. If you look at the production cost, metal is 34, IP is 42. We just compare, so that's 34, 42, 34, 42. So it's still better than our weakest tank. And I think you'll probably find its operating costs are probably a little bit less as well. Definitely less. These buggies are probably more efficient to use. 40. These are, what's that? 440. Soft. This is hit points versus infantry. 444. It's what's pertinent here. So, okay. So these Blitzer 2s have got one more hit point. Now, obviously, these guys are going to be better if we come up against other tanks. So there is a trade-off. You see, these buggies are good though. These are going to be pretty useful. It might be, I think if we do start building more troops, which we're going to have to eventually, that's what we're going to want. At the moment though, I think we probably want to be looking at infrastructure. We've got to be careful with infrastructure at the moment. We've got to ensure that we are able to pay for everything that we are building. So we've got 34 credits negative cash flow. This is the kind of credits that I'm getting when I'm not building a lot. So we can get an idea of what we're spending. We are building a rare mines facility here in Texafort, and we are employing 1,000 workers per turn. And when, you know, if you check how much they're being paid, 0.008, so that's 8 credits. So we're spending 8 credits a turn just on building this. Interesting. Okay. So what do we need to do now? When you're asking that question of yourself, it does not hurt to look at the Empire dashboard, okay? Have a look where, you know, admin level, for example, isn't going up, but admin level's quite high, I'd say. Or it's not high for this point in the game. This is kind of where I'd want to be, but civilization score is going up. Now, one thing that will help us keep people in our empire is if we raise our civilization level, and it might be worth raising, you know, raising the civilization level as high as we can go, in order to generate more income, essentially, because more income and keeping people in our empire is really what we want to be doing. By the way, can I just say, in praise of this game, how many 4X games do you know where you really have to consider this sort of stuff? There are a few, right? I mean, obviously Civilization's a classic where you really have to consider, you know, population happiness, and it makes a big difference as well. But I mean, in this game, you have the pressure of people leaving you if you're not happy. You don't just get production penalties, you know, and the threat of rebellion. You get all of that, but you also get, you know, I mean, the fact that it causes problems with your leaders. This is new. I mean, you don't get this in any other 4X or you know, only Vic's other games that I can think of really, where you have this kind of cascading effect from the negative effects of empire mismanagement actually filtering down right through to your military, you know, and to other levels. Really clever. I wonder how much of this Vic had in mind specifically when he was designing the game, and how much just kind of evolved as the game went on, you know. Like, did he have this sort of grand idea? I get the impression from the interview that I did with him, or the interviews, because we've done 2 with Vic now. I get the impression that he kind of had an idea for what he wanted to do, and then he kind of let himself kind of get a bit carried away. I wonder how much, because he's a good game designer, right? And I'm sure he understands well the concept of feature creep. And I think he's probably talented enough and smart enough that he can probably, you know, accept a little bit of feature creep and tie it into his game design. And obviously, he's got a great publisher. I think Slytherin are very understanding. And I think when you're a developer of the caliber that Vic is, with the background that he's got, you know, and the catalogue of excellent quality games, they probably give him a little bit more leeway when it comes to things like publishing dates. So if something comes up and he's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this was in the game, he's probably got a little bit more space than I think a lot of developers might have, in order to, you know, integrate those new features. That's just a thought anyway. Okay, we've got Rover 1s here. Let's get these guys back. They're not, I mean, yeah, I think I'll get these guys back. And I'm going to try and get them to a position where we can build some more. Now, we can probably use some of these industrial points here. I do feel that we need to extend our logistics lines too. Now, one thing that I did discover... Wow, look at this. Vicer has actually got 3 metal mines. We really want to upgrade the size of this city, I feel. I think this would be... How close are we? Oh, we're already at level 2. Oh, how fantastic. Right, so let us increase the size of our metal mines here, so we are getting more metal, because more metal is not going to hurt. Now, there will be a slight increase in the amount of workers that we're getting. So look, the production cost, we're going to go up by 400 workers. So if I upgrade all 3 of these, it's going to be 1200. So what's that? Let's have a look let's do the maths. So the salary is 11 credits, so 10 would be 11, but it's 0.011. So shift that over, what, 1, 2, 3. So yes, it's like 11 credits. There's going to be something like, I'm going to be spending an extra 15 odd credits, but this will get the metal out faster. I do wonder if that's worth it. What do you think? Do you think would you as a player in your situation, in my situation, would you try to get the metal out faster, knowing that you're spending more money doing so? And we don't really need it at the moment, because we can't really spend it on very much. Or do you kind of, you know, pull this out the ground slower, understand that you're going to have a slower game, maybe analysing the threats that you've got on your borders and thinking, you know, do we play this more economically and safe? Remember that you can sell metal. This is a thing. The more metal we get out of the ground, the more we can sell. The problem is, look, they're not paying very much for it. So it's really, you know, it's not a good sale for us. The traders do have credits as well. They've got money to burn, right? But we don't need anything from them at the moment, really. We might start needing food. Yeah, this is an interesting thing. I've not noticed this. This is going down. Now, we have got more troops. Let's have a look at this asset in carry. An agrodrome 3. We don't want to raise, like, what's that going to go up to? 4 would be 21,000. Now, have we actually, is Kirkwall level 4? Yeah. So we could upgrade this agrodome. The problem is, it's going to be expensive. Let's see if have we got any agrodomes on this tile. Yeah, we have, but this one belongs to the public, and I don't want to take that off them. Actually, that's generating us money. Interesting conundrum, because we are going to go up for we're going to make an extra 500 food per turn. Yeah, we can't sell food, so we don't want a huge excess of food. What we could do is we could upgrade it and then drop the production percentage. Oh wow, now there's some mathematics involved. So we would be getting 1,400 food. If we reduce that to 50%, for example, then we'd be getting 700, and we'd be working. Now I think the worker count diminishes proportionately. That one would be getting, so if we were running at 50%, this one would be running at 450 food produced, and it'd be taking just over 8,000, kind of about 8,000, right? This would be just over 10,000 and producing 700. This is definitely more right. So it probably makes sense, and I'm assuming that I'm remembering how this maximum production speed. I know that the upkeep costs will be the same. So the upkeep costs, for example, are going to increase. So the upkeep, look, so we're going to have to add 800 workers worth of credits to this. If I'm reading this right, that'll be what's that? 450 for about 8,000 workers. 450 for 8,000, and that's that would be 700 for about 1,000. That seems like a better deal to me. Maybe it might be roughly similar, actually. Really need to get a calculator out or a spreadsheet. I can't really be bothered. when math starts getting to that point, it can't be asked. So yeah, I'll have to think about that later. It's an interesting. I mean, if nothing else, it's going to drain us massively when we're building it. So I think because I'm a little bit uncertain as to whether that's going to help us in a big way, I probably won't bother. What it might be better off doing though is building another asset here. Now we've got hydroponics 1 here. We could probably build hydroponics. Might be a good move actually. Maybe we build hydroponics here. And yeah, look, we're going to be 2 rounds. We can easily afford this. It's the high-tech metals. It's the high-tech parts that I'm most concerned about here. Oh, that scavenger point is done. How many scavenger point is done as well? Oh no, that's a hill. Gosh, it was me saying how clear the graphics are. Have we got any more ruins? Doesn't look like it, does it? I think we're about all ruined out. That was it. That was it. This was a very, very small, sparsely populated planet with really, really nothing in it. We're actually going to lose the scavenging points. We're going to lose it, in the next couple of turns, I reckon. So, by the way, somebody recommended that I start shutting down some of the maybe to save on workers, maybe start shutting down some of the truck stations. I'm not really willing to do that at the moment. I don't. The problems that you get messing around with your logistics like that. Like for example, if I just start going, oh no, truck station, let's just drop down to 50%. I've always. You might save a few pennies here and there, but when a logistics issues happens and people start starving, and then you realise it's because you've forgotten about it, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. However, that is great advice, and whoever it was who gave me that advice, I do appreciate it. It makes sense. It does make sense. What I will say is that at the moment I'm not willing to do it, and for that reason. It's because I don't really trust myself. Okay, guys should be getting local pickup. Look at that. See, here's where the pull system doesn't make sense. Look, why did it do that? Like I've let the pull through, and it's actually starving my things. Like this is. I'm not gonna have another episode ranting about pull systems, so I'm not gonna do it. Sorry, but yeah, it's a perfect example of where this game really annoys me. Look, it's fine now. Why does it do that? That should not happen. That shouldn't happen. I might actually save this as an example, because it's really hard when I complain about this and everyone goes, I don't know what you're talking about. It's really difficult for me to find examples of where it's happening, because it's sod's law that whenever it happens, I haven't got an example to show people, and then people get angry with me because they're like, oh, there is no problem. What are you talking about? Pull system works fine. Like, no, it doesn't. It does unexpected weird things like that, and it should that should not happen. Okay, so here is an example of where pull does not work, and all those pull system defenders, you can look at this now and go, and look, why does this not work? Tell me, like, answer me this question. Why is it now not pulling? We're not pulling down to these that need it here. Is it because it thinks that they're being fed by this? Because they're not. Maybe it's an algorithm issue. I don't know. Obviously it's an algorithm issue, but I don't know. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole, because you know it triggers me, and it's my one bugbear in this game, apart from aircraft design and that screen where you're selecting the advisors. Other than that, I love this game so much. It's brilliant. It's me like praising Vic as a game designer and then kind of going, yeah, but there's the kind of bits of this game that I really don't like. But you know, what game is perfect? Answer me that. Put it in the comments. Let me know. Tell me a game that you think is perfect. There aren't many. Let me think off the top of my head if there's any perfect games. Taxation priority. This is all okay. We can just leave this. Alright, so we had a look at that buggy model. We could get an aircraft designer. We haven't got one yet. I think it's probably wise to. So we'll get a recon aircraft. It's not going to be very good at the moment. I haven't got very many rares, so turboprop's not a good idea. Let's go with yeah, let's just build the smallest thing we can. Let's see how far it goes. 1 hex. So it's fast enough. This doesn't have enough fuel. By the way, that's fine for if you want to build a drone to defend the city. Perfectly acceptable. Let's give it a 15-meter wingspan and see what that does. Might be too heavy now to take off. No, it's okay. It's still just not got enough fuel. Okay. Oh, this thing doesn't need to be able to dogfight, so having larger wings is okay. 3,000 maximum weight. This is not going to work, but let's just try it. Oh, it does. Okay. It's not very fast, though. This is super cheap, though. Now, you might find that with 12 hexes, you might be better off actually giving it a smaller fuel tank. Let's go halfway and see what that does. That's 10 hexes. Okay, so I think with resources being relatively small like they are, I reckon this is going to go down. I'm just guessing here. Yeah, that's going to go down. So let's just put it up 1. Generally speaking, you want the large wings, smallest engine possible, largest wings possible, and the largest fuel tank possible. Just bearing in mind that you've got fuel production. Okay, so this is going to be 11. I don't really care about this enough that I'm gonna put a very, very large fuel tank on it. Now you might find that dropping this down here. This was 10. We might actually with lighter wings we might get with a lighter we might go further. I think not. I think this is going to drop the. Oh no, we got 16. Look, okay. So there's a bit of an art to doing this, and obviously we've talked about the interface being a little bit bit annoying to use, but you can really play with this. Like 16. Look, now we actually dropped the the wingspan size, what we could probably do here, we could probably put the very small wings and then go for a bigger fuel tank, and you might find that that works. Okay, no, and actually all that we did work, we didn't get any increase in performance. What we did get was we ended up with 16. Okay, that might be the limit at which it can go. We might even try the smaller fuel tank. No, that's 10. Okay, the 16 works. I will probably use these, by the way. In a game with low tech like this, I think this is going to be the one. Yeah, in a game with low tech like this, recon's really important in Shadow Empire. So whether you've got motorbikes, or whether you're doing it with aircraft, or you know, you're just surrounding, you know, you're saturating your target operational field with troops so that you're actually getting loads of recon points. You must use recon. It's really important. This is all looking about right. I might just defund the foreign affairs counter. Mind you, I want that guy to be... He needs to be happy so he can react. Model design's a little bit much. I do... Yeah. I don't want... Applied science. Really, really important too. That looks good to me. I'm starting to see the value in staff council now as well, because I think some of the formations are really important. Well, this has been a long episode, guys. I'm going to end it here. I don't think there's much more we can do this turn. There is a few things that we can build. Yeah, we do need to get quality of life. I think Vita is somewhere we need to get quality of life buildings up. So let's go for a barracks since we don't have one. It's already got quite high security, but we're going to go up higher into that. So let's get that one going. We might be able to... We can probably fund... No, let's do it one at a time because of the drain on the credits. Yeah, and then we will also need more food. Now, technically, we can buy a little bit of food. Not very expensive either. It's the credits, though, is the problem. So do we put up another asset here? Wonder. It would probably want to be the hydroponics, wouldn't it? We already discussed this, so yeah, let's go for the hydroponics food factory. Yeah, it is using the high tech.
Roger that.
We're going to need another. We are going to need another machine. Get another couple.
We'll go.
A little bit low on rares, aren't we? Going to build a bulk load of ammunition now. It's useful having those. Okay. What another thing that we could potentially do is disband one of these brigades if we don't need it. This one we might not need now. Probably got enough. That said, once we spread out, you see, we've got to take these mountains, and then we've got to have enough to be able to stop anybody breaking through and attacking our lines. Yeah. Anyway, I'll think about that off camera. Okay, guys, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of the series, and I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.